Welcome to the Professional Speakers Association interview series. The Professional Speakers Association of the Netherlands interviews Nienke Bloem. She's a customer experience guru, international speaker, and first female Dutch certified professional speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Nienke Bloem as a guest today, and I'm going to let Nienke introduce herself. She probably can do it better than I can. Nienke, over to you.
Hello, so happy to be on this video, and maybe you know me, maybe you don't, but I'm Nienke Bloem, CCXP, CSP, MBA, well, whole trits of things, and for, I think, this video and you being an aspiring speaker or maybe professional speaker, CSP, Certified Speaking Professional. I've been in corporates for 20 years and I've built my speaking business, my training business in the last 5 years. I quit my corporate job on the 1st of January 2015, and from that moment put in LinkedIn, I'm a professional speaker, because I dreamt of flying around the world and inspiring audiences and helping my customers grow customer centric. And now after 5 years, I am, well, a thought leader in customer experience. I am a certified customer experience professional. And not only that, I'm one of the 10 people in the world that can train others. So I've built a training and education business. I am a CSP, a professional speaker, spoke in several countries all around the world, Australia, Kuala Lumpur, Mexico, Brazil, and of course the Netherlands, because that's where I'm based. And I'm also doing a little bit of consulting to keep my feet on the ground and see how still difficult it is. I'm an author, wrote a book, first just in Dutch, but it's going to be there in English. And I have the customer experience game. So you can say I'm an entrepreneur, but I think professional speaker is what makes my heart tick, and helping my clients around. I always wear a blue dress. It's kind of a gimmick, but it's something you might remember.
Hi, Nienke. Welcome to the interview today. And I would like to say congratulations on the new title. I mean, to be a CSP and in Australia and the first woman from the Netherlands to achieve this, I think is quite an achievement. What did it feel like to receive this?
Well, it was kind of like a celebration moment. I already heard it in November last year. So when you send it in, and you can use the title, but I decided to only share it with my audience, with my clients, when I got the real title and I had the ceremony. So being on that stage, it was, well, I'm going to be honest, I felt like a big celebration. And somehow I also felt now the accreditation to be really, now I am a real professional speaker. So it gave me kind of like a confidence, and it was the whole celebration being in a ball gown and with all fellow speakers. It was amazing. It was amazing.
That was great. The thing is, so how do you feel after that? Has anything changed for you?
Well, I think, in the normal situation, it would have. I would have used it for publicity. I would have used it towards my customers. And now I put it on LinkedIn. And yes, I took some celebration moment with Corona going on. There is not something I really can do. I also think it's inappropriate right now. So, but it's what I did with it is share it. And it's more like an internal confidence, I feel. So I use that more towards my audience and in the things I'm doing. So it's not a big change, it's not a huge difference, but it's the mental thing that really works for me, yeah.
Do you think that working towards it changed the way that you do things?
Yeah, I think the whole process, well, first of all, I think it's really, there's actually 3 things that it brought me. First of all, my speaker community. There's a lot of people that help me out, and I want to mention 2 particular. It's Lindsay Adams and Polter Wall. They really helped me in the process. So that was interesting to really feel the value of your speaker friends, of your speaker community. That was one. The second thing it brought me is that you have to go back, especially for the Australian one, you have to prove that the income you had in the last 5 years. And so you have to go back in your agenda, in your invoices. And it gave me a whole bunch of insights, everything that I've done, seen my keynotes back, and keeping track. So that was a very valuable insights to see what the growth I've had, I think from a perspective of revenue, but also the types of clients, and that I've done several things with several clients. So that was a very important insight. And the third thing it also brought me is getting an insight in these clients, and I reached out to many of them again because, well, it's been really crazy busy the last 2 years that I've not reached out to many of them. So it was my moment to reach out again. So looking back, it also helped me to look forward.
It's great. Did you change anything in your approach to clients or to speaking in general during that process, or after you received the accolade?
No, maybe I should, but I think being a Dutch woman, we're not the people that really shout out loud of all our accreditations. I think it is valuable to use your accreditation. So I explained it and I used my CSP, but as there's not a lot of speaking going on and it's not the thing that I want to put out now. Yes, of course, in the virtual world, speaking like this to a camera and helping my customers in that way, I do it. But it's much more my title in the CX community that's helping me out right now. But I think really in the future, I'm going to use it more. But right now, I've not used it in a different way, going to be honest.
Yeah. Well, Nienke, you are the first woman in the Netherlands to receive this title. What do you think that means for women in speaking, and what do you think will be your contribution to that?
I'm just proud. I'm going to be honest. Let's also see the people that are on stage, and whether that's in the Netherlands, and I'm a global speaker, so I speak on stages everywhere, but there's still a majority in male speakers. And that's a part of our industry, but it's also a part of women, and you cannot blame anyone in here, but I think both parts have to do their work. And when I look at what it means for me as being the first woman, working with meeting planners, working with my customers, the industry side, I can show there's really good female speakers in my part on customer experience management and being an expert in that field and helping my clients making the transformation towards customer centricity. But also the females and the women that are maybe reluctant to speak or see it as a hobby. I want to, with my title, show them that it's a profession. And if you want to take it to that level, well, you have to make the money with it. So you have to ask money, you have to get your fee structure in order. And I think with my being the first woman, I will help both the industry and maybe female speakers and be an inspiration for them, and maybe help them out a little bit with the insight how to run a speaking business, but also to ask money, because otherwise it's a hobby. And being a professional speaker, I'm going to be honest, it's not a hobby, it is hard work.
What do you think was the most challenging for you to overcome as a female speaker?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. I don't really see the hurdles, and that's part of my, I think, identity. But I found out, I think, when I left the corporate world 20 years ago, that, and I became an independent, became a speaker and a real expert in CX, is that I am an activist by nature. Also in my field of work, you have to be a little bit of activist, because everybody agrees, also on diversity, everybody agrees, yes, we should have more women. Yes, we should be more customer centric. But is it really happening? You need some activism in that. And in that part, I think what I overcome is I just go and be that activist. It's something that's in me. And that I think it's really needed. Also for me, I really still sometimes struggle with asking the good fee. And that's really female, just pay me what you think I'm worth, or those kind of things. So I've done a lot of mental work on that. And I also am challenged by a coach on that. So I think that's really good. And I'm helping others in that way. And I've helped many people in that way in a corporate world on negotiate for your salary. And now for me, negotiate my fee. And I'm actually doing quite good on that. So made a lot of progress, and that's been a hurdle I personally had to take. But it's also just claim that you're a professional speaker. The moment I quit my job, I put it on LinkedIn. I just put in professional speaker. And people said, but how could you do that? I'm like, why not? Who determines that I'm a professional speaker? I do. Of course, my customers do, and they have to pay me, and they have to be enthusiastic and hire me again and again. But if I don't believe in it, how are they going to believe in it? So it's a part of belief too.
What would you recommend? What would be the 1 or 2 tips you'd give for female speakers in this industry? Because I can imagine that if you see so many men around and you run up against hurdles that you may not have expected, what are the things that get you through that? And what do you think other people can learn from that?
Yeah, and these tips are not only for women, because I also see male people do that. I think it's all about visibility. You have to stand out from the crowd. I always say you have to stand out from the crowd. And you don't do that with just being nice, of doing catchy things. It has to be value. So how to stand out from the crowd, and yes, it can be catchy. I'm always wearing a blue dress, and some people say that it's kind of weird, but it's turned into my brand. It started with a little fun thing, and now it become a real serious thing. But stand out from the crowd, that is one. And that means you need to be out there. So you have to publish articles on LinkedIn. You have to make bold statements. You have to be there. So that is standing out from the crowd and consistently being out there. I think that is number one that you need to do. And that's for women, but also for men, because I know a lot of speakers struggle in that field. I don't see them on LinkedIn. I don't see them on Twitter or Insta. So that's a good point. And I think the second one is, what is your view? What is it that you differ from others? And that's not how to stand out. Let's not stand out from the crowd, but it's really, what kind of value do you deliver to customers? And don't compare yourself to others. Of course, you have to know, where am I different in my field? There's many customer experience speakers. What am I different? And for me, I know I'm going to make customer experience work. So if you're looking for a house speaker or to motivate people, just do different. Now I'm going to be the person that comes after that. And maybe people are a little bit confused. Oh yeah, the world's going to change. But now what? What am I going to do? That's where I come in. So you need to know your niche. What is it and who's your customer? So you can really make a difference. So first of all, stand out from the crowd. And the second of all, what is your uniqueness as a speaker? Create, for example, and looking again at my profession, create a customer promise or a brand promise. For me, making customer experience work. That's what I deliver. When customers work with me, whether it's in speaking or in training, I'm going to be practical. But also maybe create some customer promises underneath that are more practical also for your team. So for me, we have 4 customer promises, and one of them, for example, is it's always fun to work with us. So we create some fun and some elements in it, but also ease. So there's 4. So it could help stand out from the crowd. And what are you different? And make it really specific for your customers, but also for your team. So both will know how to deal with it.
So in a time that we're facing large-scale infections around the world and battling the COVID-19 disease and coronaviruses, what do you think would be a way of looking at the future? How is this going to change our industry, and how is this going to change the way that you want to work with the industry?
Yeah, it's I think it is changed, because let's be honest, all my face-to-face speaking has been postponed or cancelled. My trainings we're going to do different. So I think it's also the virtual thing. So for me, I invested in some real good equipment, as a good webcam, a good microphone, good stable elements, putting up a little studio to deliver real good value to my customers. I think that has happened, and that but I've never been in a situation like this. So I asked people that are in the industry for a long, long time, and what they say, this happened at SARS, this happened, it was a big hit at 9/11, and there will be meetings again. There will be, and maybe not really in a near future, because we need, in the Netherlands, we call it the meter and a half economy, that we need to stay apart for that. But in the end, we're gonna be close again, because that is what they said. So that's what I got from experts. But yeah, you have to also be agile and see what can you deliver in a virtual world, because customers still want to be helped, in my case, become customer centric. And maybe they have different challenges right now, and I'm helping with them. So virtual, but also things will get back to a new normal. So yeah, you need some strategies as a speaker. Also, I created a new business strategy, I'm going to be honest, how to get through the crisis with my team. I'm a businesswoman, I have a team. So what do I want with that? Can I pay it? What's the financial part? What is the value I can deliver? What are products are there? What does my customers change? So I created a new business model up until the end of September. And let's see, maybe we need longer, but up till now, it's also good for me that I'm not going to do crazy things right now, put everything into a virtual world, because I think that will be too much ad hoc. So I really put a strategy out, and we're now working on that. So that helps me. I like structure.
I think that's also the way we progress. The moment we have structure, we have things we say, well, we've taken the next step, or maybe the step we took is not the right one. We can change direction, but without structure, it's difficult to make those evaluations. I think.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I also miss it. I miss my clients. I get energy from being on a stage. Now I'm talking to a camera. Well, I like to have the fun thing. And of course you can have fun, but when I'm looking into a camera, I'm not looking to my screen, because that will be weird. Normally when you look at the stage, you see the interaction with the people. I miss it. I get energy. I'm an extrovert. I like that. And so it's also, for me personally, it's difficult. You just have to get around, get a new routine, see where you get your energy from other things. So it's interesting. It's very interesting.
Yes, I think it's also some of the stuff that I've been working with is those interpersonal interactions. It's really, I miss it as well.
Yeah.
That inability to just be close to people and connect with them in the real world. I think we all feel it, if you're in the speaker business or not. If you just miss your family, or you just miss your friends, or you miss your colleagues. I hear a lot of people saying, I miss my colleagues. I miss just spending time with them.
Yeah.
And
drinking a beer, and it's different drinking a beer on Zoom than drinking a beer and having a laugh. And yeah.
I think that's something we can all learn how to do for the future. What advice would you give speakers globally, or aspiring speakers globally, people that want to get into this industry, especially now in these times, but also in general? What kind of ideas or tips would you give them if they want to join this industry of ours?
I think is that you have to be a little bit bold. I also said stand out, take your topic, bring value, and just go out. Don't hesitate all the time, things are good or not. I'm not a perfectionist. I think that helped me a lot, but be active, be out there. I think that is a first tip that I just do. And that means, do you always think beforehand? No, I've sold things that I didn't have, but that also creates like momentum that I have to create again. And so that's reach out to people. You never know if they react. And I think it's be bold and active. And the other part, be a member of an association. I started my speaking career in 2015, so now I'm in the business 5 years. And in March, the first year, I got into contact with PSA, the Netherlands. It was Holland, so still need to work on that. And it really helped me progress as a speaker. And I think being a speaker, a lot of people focus on the stage part, stagecraft, your voice, how do you reach out, all these kinds of things. Do you do funny things or not? But I think a lot of people have that all right. And I've seen speakers that were not that good, and they were asked again and again because they've got their speaker funnel really good. So it's the speaking on stage, but it's also being a speaker and really arrange your marketing and sales. And I've learned so much from my peers. And I've visited Influence in America. I've now been to Australia, PSA Australia. I've been to the UK, and every time I get great insights. And being a professional speaker is different than being a trainer or being another entrepreneur. Our business, it's great to learn from others. And this peer learning that I get at PSA is for me, has been the most valuable in growing my business, in seeing opportunities, in being inspired by others. And everybody shares. So we grow the pie bigger together. So for me, being a member of the Professional Speaking Association has been great value. So be bold and active and join your gang and become a member of an association.
It sounds like you're saying you also have to be a lifelong learner. Just everywhere you go, you're going to encounter new environments, new people, new ideas.
Yes, of course, you have to always adapt, and also in the situation right now, but I'm also going to be a little bit critical on that, because I also see people go everywhere, and that's good because maybe they want to have the contacts, but I really am picky. So for me, it's really important to be picky in the things. I go to 2 events a year, I try, and I go back and I pick 3 things that I'm going to implement. I'm really in the action part, because you can go everywhere. You can go, people are on webinars and everybody's learning, but my head gets full with all the things I should do and blah, 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 blah. I'm very selective in the things I go out to. I'm very selective, and I choose 3 things and I implement. So I think that works for me. So I'm kind of selective in the way that where I go, because I don't want to just go to sit in. I really go there, of course, to connect, but also to see what can I take away with and implement in my business.
Yeah, I think that it's interesting to notice, because there's also something called the paradox of choice. And if you have too much choice, you can end up not making any choices.
Yeah, for me, it clutters my head, and I get insecure, and like I should have done this and this and this and this. So for me, and I also like to, after long hours and hard work during the day, I like to do nothing. I read a book, be with my family, play a game. So I need to be off sometimes. So I'm selective. Yeah.